Gotta be tough following in the footsteps of your father when your dad happens to be a former two-time NBA champion. But for KJ Smith, his dad has been there every step of the way as he begins his basketball journey at the University of Pacific. Here's an inside look at a special father-son bond between Kenny Smith and his son, KJ. Sarah Kezele has the story.
Damon Stoudemire, the first-year head coach at Pacific, knows the importance of depth at point guard. He provided that very thing during his 13 years in the NBA. So much so that he knew one of his most important recruits would be KJ Smith, the freshman backup on this year's roster. Fortunately for Stoudemire, he already had a connection through KJ's dad.
Damon, as soon as he got the job, that night he called me. Said, hey, I need KJ's number.
That's Kenny Smith, a two-time NBA champion and an analyst for TNT's Inside the NBA. See the resemblance? As expected, the comparisons between the two have been there KJ's whole life.
Looked like his dad, KJ Smith.
It doesn't help that KJ is a point guard like his father.
It was just a lot of pressure at first, just because him being at the games, a lot of people would just, draw to him and come to our games and try to see like who his son is. So I felt pressure on myself.
But that doesn't bug him anymore. In fact, he likes to have some fun with it.
I feel like I could shoot a little better than him.
No, he's not the better shooter. I was the better shooter. He's more skilled in more areas, except for athleticism.
Kenny was KJ's first coach and eventually coached him in AAU as well.
Parents would come to me and say, you know what, I think this might work. And I said, maybe, but this actually worked in the NBA Finals.
While KJ's dad splits his time between LA and Atlanta, he continues to guide the freshmen from afar.
Before games, after games, we're about to watch film on FaceTime after this. Yeah.
I never talk about their offense, plays run. That's Damon's job. My thing is effort, energy, and decisions. But what did you see when you came off that pick and roll? And he could tell me. And then I said, well, this is what I see while you were coming off from afar. And maybe you could look at this as well.
But KJ has also found mentorship in his new head coach. Though Stoudemire, Kenny, and KJ all know the same position, Stoudemire can offer new perspective and develop KJ in a way that Kenny can't.
With Damon especially, whose pedigree is just as high as my dad's, it's awesome because he sees stuff and tells me stuff that, my dad doesn't really tell me. He sees it in a different angle. So it's really cool.
Damon was a smaller guard, so there's certain things that he did that I don't even think about. And if my son is 6'3", and if he can think about those things that Damon did, and then I could tell him the things that I did, then he's going to be a better basketball player and reach his maximum potential.
KJ has enjoyed working with Stoudemire and his staff so much that he's even considering becoming a coach.
Seeing how much the coaches put into their job, you really have to love basketball. And, I see that in what our coaches do. And so, I could see myself doing that one day.
Luckily for KJ, he already has one assistant on his short list.
He could be my assistant coach.
For the WCC This Week, I'm Sarah Kezele.
Be solid.
Great story.